Are you training hard, but not seeing results? You might be sabotaging your own progress without realizing it. In this video, we'll reveal the 13 hidden mistakes that destroy muscle gains, and show you how to fix them. Avoid these saboteurs, and finally unlock the transformation you deserve. Skipping protein is the #1 nutrition mistake killing muscle gains. Protein is the building block for muscle repair and growth. Without enough, your hard work in the gym goes to waste. Make protein the cornerstone of every meal for real results. Fix your protein deficit by understanding your needs. Aim for 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilogram of body weight. Distribute protein intake across meals for consistent muscle support. Focus on high-quality proteins like chicken, fish, and dairy. Supplement wisely if needed. Ensure your body has the fuel to build muscle. Moving from nutrition to the gym floor, we encounter the second monumental mistake that stops muscle growth dead in its tracks: poor exercise form. You can have the perfect workout plan and the most dialed-in nutrition, but if you're not performing your exercises correctly, you are severely compromising your results and, even worse, setting yourself up for injury. Proper form is the very language your body uses to communicate with your muscles. When your form is off, you're essentially sending the wrong signals, recruiting the wrong muscle groups, and failing to place the intended stress on the target muscle you're trying to grow. Think about a bicep curl, for example. The goal is to isolate and fatigue the biceps. However, many people use excessive momentum, swinging their back and shoulders to lift a weight that is too heavy for them. In this scenario, the tension is shifted away from the bicep and onto the lower back, the front deltoids, and momentum itself. The bicep receives only a fraction of the intended stimulus, which is why it fails to grow. This principle applies to every single exercise. Poor form means you are training your ego by lifting heavy weight, but you are not effectively training your muscles for hypertrophy. This issue creates a double-edged sword of failure. Firstly, as mentioned, it prevents the target muscle from receiving the mechanical tension it needs to adapt and grow. Muscle growth is a direct response to progressive tension overload, and if that tension is being diffused across other muscle groups or being assisted by momentum, the primary stimulus is lost. You might feel tired after your workout, but that fatigue doesn't necessarily equate to an effective, growth-inducing training session for the muscles you actually wanted to work. You're simply going through the motions without reaping the rewards. Secondly, and perhaps more dangerously, consistently using improper form dramatically increases your risk of injury. Lifting with poor mechanics places undue stress on joints, ligaments, and tendons that are not designed to bear the load in that manner. A single bad repetition on a heavy deadlift can lead to a debilitating back injury that could take you out of the gym for weeks or even months, completely halting all of your progress. Correcting your exercise form is powerful. Leave your ego at the door. Lower the weight for flawless technique. Focus on mind-muscle connection. Feel the stretch and squeeze. Record and compare your form. Invest in a trainer for feedback. Master movements for growth and resilience. Overtraining is a common mistake that destroys muscle growth. More sets and reps might seem better, but without rest, you halt progress. Muscles grow during recovery, not constant training. Don't skip rest. Your gains depend on it. Rest is non-negotiable. When you train, your muscles break down. Recovery is when they rebuild and grow stronger. Schedule rest and recovery into your plan. Rest days aren't lazy, they're essential for progress. True strength is knowing when to push and when to recover. We now arrive at the fourth and perhaps most common mistake that prevents people from ever achieving their dream physique: a crippling lack of consistency. You can have the most perfectly designed workout program in the world, a nutrition plan dialed in to the last calorie, and a deep understanding of recovery science, but if you only apply them sporadically, they are utterly useless. The human body adapts to stress over time, and that adaptation, the very essence of muscle growth and strength gain, requires a consistent and repeated stimulus. Hitting the gym hard for 1 week, and then taking the next 2 weeks off will produce absolutely zero long-term results. This destructive pattern is often rooted in a common mindset trap: the all-or-nothing mentality. This is the belief that if you can't execute your plan perfectly, then there's no point in doing it at all. Did you miss a Monday workout? Well, the whole week is ruined, so you might as well wait until next Monday to start again. Did you eat a slice of pizza that wasn't on your meal plan? The entire day's diet is a failure, so you might as well binge on junk food and start fresh tomorrow. This black and white thinking is the enemy of progress, creating a vicious cycle of starting, stopping, and feeling perpetually disappointed. The reality of building a great physique is not a sprint, it is a marathon, and a marathon filled with imperfect days. Progress is not a straight, upward trending line. It's a messy, fluctuating journey with ups and downs. The people who succeed are not the ones who are perfect 100% of the time. They are the ones who are consistent 80 to 90% of the time, and most importantly, know how to get right back on track after a minor slip-up. They understand that one missed workout or one suboptimal meal does not derail the entire journey. It is the cumulative effect of hundreds of good decisions and workouts over months and years that builds an impressive physique. How do we build the habit of consistency? Make your routine frictionless. Find a gym close to home or work. Prepare gym clothes the night before. Schedule workouts like important meetings. Start with 3 workouts a week. Find accountability, like a workout partner. Consistency is about refusing to quit. This brings us to the 5th, and arguably the most important training principle for continuous muscle growth: progressive overload. Ignoring this principle is, honestly, the single biggest reason why people hit frustrating plateaus and remain stuck at the same level of strength and muscularity for months or even years on end. You can be perfectly consistent, showing up to the gym every scheduled day, but if you are simply going through the motions and doing the exact same workout with the same weights, sets, and reps every single time, your body will have absolutely no reason to change. It has already adapted to that specific stimulus. The human body is an incredibly efficient adaptation machine. Its primary goal is to maintain homeostasis, or a state of internal balance. When you first start lifting weights, the new stress is a significant challenge, and your body responds by building more muscle and getting stronger to better handle that challenge in the future. However, once it has adapted to that level of stress, it no longer sees a need to continue adapting. That workout that was once difficult becomes easy, and the stimulus for growth disappears entirely. You have effectively reached a state of equilibrium, and in the world of muscle building, equilibrium means stagnation. Progressive overload is simple. Add a little weight, do an extra rep, or shorten your rest. Track your progress. Focus on small improvements. And over time, these tiny victories lead to big changes in strength and muscle. That's the secret to long-term gains. Imagine trying to navigate a complex maze with a blindfold on, only relying on your memory of the last few turns you made. This is precisely what you're doing in the gym when you don't track your workouts. You might feel like you're working hard, sweating, and putting in the effort, but without concrete data, your perception of progress is just a guess. You might think you lifted heavier than last week, or did more reps, but can you be certain? Feelings are notoriously unreliable metrics for measuring physical progress, often clouded by your energy levels, mood, or even the time of day. True, sustained growth requires a more systematic and objective approach than simply going by feel. Without a written record, you are essentially flying blind, hoping to accidentally stumble upon the path to muscle growth. Each workout becomes an isolated event, disconnected from the last, rather than a single step in a long, deliberate journey. This lack of data makes it impossible to identify patterns, understand what's working, and diagnose what isn't. Are you stalling on your bench press because of a technical flaw, insufficient volume, or inadequate recovery? Without a logbook to review your sets, reps, and weights over the past several weeks, you're left with nothing but frustrating guesswork. You're robbing yourself of the most valuable tool for self-coaching and intelligent program adjustment. The concept of progressive overload, which we've discussed as the cornerstone of muscle building, becomes nearly impossible to implement consistently without tracking. How can you ensure you are progressively overloading your muscles if you don't have a precise record of what they previously handled? You might accidentally lift the same weight for the same reps for weeks on end, wondering why you're not seeing any changes in the mirror. This is the definition of a plateau, and it's a trap that countless gym-goers fall into simply because they neglect the simple habit of writing things down. Want to train smarter? Start a workout journal. Just jot down your exercises, sets, reps, and weights. Over time, you'll see clear trends and know exactly when to push harder or change things up. Tracking your progress turns every session into a step toward your goals. Stop guessing, start tracking. A common sight in many commercial gyms is the person who spends their entire workout moving from one machine to another, meticulously isolating every small muscle group. They'll do bicep curls, then tricep pushdowns, followed by leg extensions, leg curls, and calf raises. While these isolation exercises certainly have their place in a well-rounded routine, making them the foundation of your training is a monumental mistake. It's like trying to build a house by focusing on painting the trim and polishing the doorknobs before you've even laid the foundation or put up the walls. You're focusing on the fine details while completely ignoring the big picture of overall muscle mass. The primary issue with an isolation-heavy approach is its sheer inefficiency. Your body has over 600 muscles, and trying to train them all one by one would take an eternity. Isolation exercises, by definition, engage only one joint and a very limited amount of muscle mass at a time. This means you have to perform a huge number of different exercises to achieve a full body stimulus, leading to excessively long, drawn-out workouts. This approach not only burns up your valuable time, but also fails to provide the systemic stress needed to trigger a significant hormonal response for muscle growth. Think about the hormonal environment required for building muscle. Anabolic hormones like testosterone and growth hormone are released in response to the stress of training. However, the magnitude of this hormonal release is directly proportional to the amount of muscle mass recruited during an exercise. A bicep curl, which recruits a tiny muscle in your arm, will elicit a minuscule hormonal response compared to a heavy squat, which engages hundreds of muscles throughout your legs, glutes, core, and back. By neglecting the big, multi-joint lifts, you are robbing your body of its most powerful natural muscle-building signals, severely limiting your potential for overall growth. Build your workouts around compound movements: squats, deadlifts, bench presses, overhead presses, pull-ups, and rows. These multi-joint lifts recruit major muscle groups, deliver most of your results, and build real-world strength. Start each session with 1 or 2 heavy compound lifts, then add isolation work for a complete, efficient routine. You can have the most dialed-in nutrition plan and the most intelligent training program in the world, but if you consistently fail to get enough high-quality sleep, you are actively sabotaging all of your hard work. Honestly, a lot of people treat sleep as a luxury or even an inconvenience that can just be cut short to make more time for work, socializing, or entertainment. But for anyone who is serious about building muscle, this mindset is just catastrophic. You don't build muscle in the gym, you stimulate it. The actual process of repair and growth happens when you are resting, and the most critical period of rest and recovery is during deep sleep. During the deep stages of sleep, your body enters a prime anabolic or muscle-building state. This is when the pituitary gland releases the largest pulse of human growth hormone, or HGH, which is a powerful peptide hormone that is absolutely essential for repairing damaged muscle tissue and synthesizing new proteins. When you cut your sleep short, you are directly truncating this critical HGH release. Think of it this way: your workout is the order you place for new muscle, and deep sleep is the delivery service. If you keep canceling the delivery, you'll never receive the package, no matter how many times you place the order. Sleep deprivation doesn't just cripple your recovery, it also wreaks havoc on your hormonal balance in other destructive ways. Lack of sleep has been shown to significantly decrease testosterone levels, another key anabolic hormone, while simultaneously increasing levels of cortisol. Cortisol is a catabolic stress hormone, meaning it actively breaks down muscle tissue for energy. So by skimping on sleep, you are creating a hormonal environment that is doubly hostile to muscle growth. You have less of the hormones that build muscle and more of the hormone that destroys it. Treat your sleep like you're training. Plan for 7 to 9 hours of quality rest every night. Consistency is key. Go to bed and wake up at the same time daily, even on weekends. Make your bedroom dark, quiet, and cool. Turn off screens before bed and wind down with relaxing routines for optimal recovery. We focus on training, nutrition, and sleep, but often ignore stress, a hidden enemy that breaks down muscle and blocks growth. Chronic stress releases cortisol, which tears down muscle and stops new gains, no matter how perfect your routine. It's like building a house during an earthquake. Progress is nearly impossible if you don't manage stress. Stress is real, but managing it is where change happens. Mindfulness, meditation, and gentle movement like walking or yoga help clear your mind and reduce stress. Don't forget hobbies and social time. They're powerful antidotes to stress and help you thrive, inside and outside the gym. In the modern fitness landscape, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that the secret to massive gains lies in a colorful tub of powder or a bottle of pills. The marketing is relentless, promising rapid muscle growth, explosive energy, and lightning-fast recovery. This leads many to mistake number 10, relying on supplements over whole foods. People spend hundreds of dollars on pre-workouts, protein isolates, and exotic amino acids, while their daily diet consists of processed meals and inconsistent nutrition. This approach is fundamentally backward. Supplements, by their very definition, are meant to a diet, not replace it. The foundation of any successful muscle-building program is, and always will be, a solid, nutrient-dense diet. Whole foods, like lean meats, fish eggs, vegetables, fruits, and complex carbohydrates, provide a complex matrix of macronutrients, micronutrients, fiber, and phytochemicals that work synergistically to support your body's functions. A scoop of whey protein can't replicate the rich profile of vitamins, minerals, and healthy fats found in a piece of salmon. A pre-workout stimulant doesn't offer the sustained energy and fiber that a bowl of oatmeal provides. Relying on supplements is like trying to build a magnificent skyscraper on a foundation of sand. It's an unstable strategy destined for collapse. This misplaced priority often stems from a desire for a quick fix or a magic bullet. It's more appealing to believe that a supplement can solve your problems than it is to put in the consistent effort of planning, shopping for, and preparing nutritious meals day in and day out. However, this mindset not only hinders your physical progress, but also creates an unhealthy relationship with nutrition. You begin to see food as an inconvenience and supplements as the primary drivers of your success. This disconnect can lead to nutritional deficiencies and an inability to sustain your fitness goals long-term, because no supplement stack can ever make up for a poor underlying diet. Building a food-first foundation starts with a mental shift. See your groceries as your best muscle-building tools. Focus on whole foods, lean meats, eggs, fruits, and vegetables to hit your nutrition goals. Supplements should only fill specific gaps, not replace real food. Build your nutrition pyramid on whole foods and use supplements as the finishing touch for lasting success. Skipping warm-ups and cool-downs is a common gym mistake. Rushing into heavy lifts without preparing your body increases injury risk and hurts performance. Just 5 to 10 minutes of dynamic stretching can boost blood flow, improve flexibility, and help you lift with better form. Don't skip it, your body will thank you. Just as a plane needs a gradual descent and landing, your body benefits from a structured cool-down after a workout. Abruptly stopping intense activity can cause blood to pool in the lower extremities, which can sometimes lead to dizziness or lightheadedness. A cool down, consisting of a few minutes of light cardio like walking on the treadmill or cycling at a low intensity, allows your heart rate and blood pressure to return to their resting levels gradually. This gentle transition helps your body begin the recovery process in a more controlled and efficient manner, preventing a sudden shock to the system. Following the light cardio, the cool down is the perfect opportunity to incorporate static stretching. After a workout, your muscles are warm and pliable, making it the ideal time to work on improving flexibility and range of motion. Holding stretches for 20 to 30 seconds for each major muscle group worked can help to relieve muscle tightness and reduce the immediate feeling of stiffness. While the direct link between stretching and preventing next-day muscle soreness is debated, improving flexibility is undeniably beneficial for long-term joint health and maintaining proper movement patterns in your lifts, which in itself is a powerful injury prevention tool. The cool down also serves an important psychological purpose. It provides a moment of transition from the high-intensity, high-focus state of your workout back to the normal rhythm of your day. It's a time for reflection on the workout you just completed, a moment to be mindful and appreciate the work your body just put in. This can help to reduce post-workout stress and cultivate a more positive and sustainable relationship with exercise. Instead of ending on an abrupt and exhausting note, you finish feeling composed, accomplished, and mentally prepared to tackle the rest of your day. Ultimately, viewing the warm-up and cool-down as mandatory bookends to your training session is a hallmark of a smart, mature lifter. It's a shift from a short-sighted focus on just the lifting portion to a holistic view of training that prioritizes longevity and consistent progress. The few extra minutes you invest at the beginning and end of each session pay massive dividends in the form of enhanced performance, reduced injury risk, and improved recovery. Don't let impatience sabotage your long-term goals. Embrace the full training process from the first dynamic stretch to the final static hold. Inconsistent caloric intake sabotages your muscle-building efforts. Your body needs a steady supply of energy, like a construction site needs regular materials, to build muscle. Consistently eating a modest caloric surplus fuels growth and progress. Stability is key for visible results. Building a consistent foundation starts with avoiding the all-or-nothing mindset. Meal prepping and regular meal times help you stay on track, while being mindful of liquid calories keeps your intake in check. These habits make hitting your goals much simpler and set you up for real progress. Not setting clear, specific goals is like sailing with no destination. Without a target, workouts lack focus and progress is hard to measure. Define exactly what you want to achieve, create a roadmap, and set milestones. This turns wishful thinking into real, trackable results. Set SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound, to turn vague desires into powerful objectives. Write them down, break them into smaller steps, and keep them visible. Your goals become your personal contract, fueling motivation and giving every workout purpose. With clear goals, your training becomes a journey of transformation. We've just navigated through 13 of the most common and destructive muscle-building mistakes that hold countless people back from achieving the results they work so hard for. From nutritional errors like inconsistent protein and calorie intake, to training blunders like poor form and ignoring progressive overload, each one of these pitfalls can act as a significant barrier on your path to building a stronger, more muscular physique. We've also explored critical lifestyle factors such as inadequate sleep, unmanaged stress, and the lack of clear, defined goals. Recognizing these mistakes is the first, most crucial step toward overcoming them. The good news is that for every mistake, there is a simple, actionable solution. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. The key is to start making small, consistent changes. Focus on improving your form on one key lift. Make a conscious effort to add a source of protein to every meal. Commit to getting just 30 more minutes of sleep each night. Track your next workout. These small adjustments, when practiced consistently, compound over time, leading to massive, transformative results. The power lies not in perfection, but in persistent, positive progress in the right direction. These aren't just abstract concepts. They are the fundamental principles that separate those who achieve their dream physique from those who remain frustrated and stuck. Avoiding these 13 mistakes is the blueprint for unlocking your true potential. It's about training smarter, not just harder. It's about fueling your body with intention, recovering with purpose, and approaching your journey with a clear and focused mindset. You now have the knowledge to sidestep the traps that ensnare so many others. The only thing left to do is to apply it and take decisive action. Now take a moment and imagine your transformation. Imagine the progress you could make in the next 3 months if you consciously avoid just one of these mistakes. Think about how much stronger you'd be, how much more muscle you'd build. Now, picture the incredible, life-changing results you could achieve if you made a commitment to avoid them all. That version of you is not a distant dream. It's a direct result of the choices you make starting right now. The journey begins with a single step. Your transformation starts today.